All right, I think we're getting set up here. What is going on, friends? It's Mike Hogg with Midlife Fitness. If you don't already know who I am, I help midlife men and women lose weight, build muscle, improve their energy, and develop healthy habits that lead to lifelong change. Looks like we are squared away-ish. Okay. Oh, I just lost it. Hold up. All right, cool. I think we're good. All right. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So welcome. It's Thursday night. It's a little after 9. Just got done teaching High Rocks class at Gnarly Fit. I'll talk about more about that at the end. Of course, always happy to have people come out and try that class out. I think you really love it. If you're into functional fitness and just getting a great workout in with a group of amazing people that are all trying to improve themselves. But anyway, let's get to the topic at hand. So the last few weeks, there's any number of sicknesses floating around between just regular flu, RSV is floating around, COVID, of course, norovirus, like all kinds of stuff. So I've had a lot of questions over the last couple of weeks from people wondering whether or not they should train when they are sick. So it's a valid question. I get it. I love the enthusiasm. I love the dedication, the consistency. You want to show up for yourself even when you're feeling kind of under the weather, but how do you balance that? How do you gauge that? Is it worth doing it? Is it better to rest? How do you do that? So tonight I wanted to talk about a really good simple guidelines and rules to follow to make that decision and kind of the benefits and the disadvantages of doing either. So we are live, so I've got my Facebook up right now. So if you have questions during this, feel free to throw them in the comments. I should be able to see them live. Um, or if you have a question, you don't want to ask it, in person, feel free to throw them in the comments on the video and I'll answer them in there. Or you can always DM me and ask me in private. But again, like I always say, there's no such thing as a stupid question. And Tim commented on my post just a few minutes ago saying I was going live. I'm not sick, Tim. I'm good. Um, I can't even remember the last time I got sick. I knock on wood. Now I'm gonna get RSV, flu, COVID, and norovirus all at once. I just don't get sick very often. But I will tell you this because I don't get sick very often. When I do, I am the biggest baby on the planet when that happens. So I appreciate your concern, but I'm good. So all right. So let's get into this. I'm gonna share my screen here. Right. All right, cool. Hopefully you guys can see that. All right, so should I train when I'm sick? So understanding when to push through and when to rest, it's very important. Okay. So, you really want that training consistency. But what happens when you get sick? Like I said before, do you push through it or do you use that time to rest instead, which is going to be better? And hopefully during this presentation, I'll kind of answer some of those questions and give you kind of a simple guideline to kind of help you make that decision. So kind of understanding sickness and exercise, like different illnesses are going to affect your body in different ways. Okay. Some of the key factors of those are going to be like how severe your symptoms are, what type of illness you have, and what your energy levels are. All right. So you got to remember, like, when you are sick, your body is being stressed, your immune system is compromised, your body's working hard to fight off that infection. When you are training, whether you're doing anything, weightlifting, cardio, whatever it is, that is also stress on your body that you induce stress that you're putting on your body, which is good, forces your body to grow and adapt. But when your body is already stressed, it might be too much, right? Might be an overload when your body's already in a stressed um, um, position. So kind of and I'll get right into it right off the bat. Kind of the rule to follow is the neck rule. Okay, and I'm going to get into that. So that's kind of think of the neck rule. That's kind of helping you determine whether or not you should train when you're sick. Okay, so if your symptoms are above the neck, okay, and they're mild, so like things like stuffy nose, like a mild sore throat, like you're sneezing, like your head's kind of stuffy, then you might be okay for some light to moderate exercise. All right. But really at the end of the day, whether you know, it's from the neck up or the neck down, you really got to listen to your body. All right. When you don't listen to it, that's when problems start to arise. So, you know, listen to your body first and foremost. But I'm just kind of going over some general guidelines. So the neck up, you should be okay to train. But again, kind of gauge it. If you start training and you feel like you're going to pass out, then, you know, maybe not the best time. Maybe you're overreaching a little bit. If it's below the neck, okay, and your symptoms are pretty severe, so you've got fever, body aches, really bad coughing, like your lungs are really congested, you're vomiting, or God forbid, you've got like gastrointestinal issues going on. The last thing you want to be doing is heavy squats or you got a rumbly tummy. Um, but training is not recommended for those times. Okay, so from the neck down, if your symptoms are severe, rest is what's recommended. All right, so when you can train, if you've got mild symptoms, like you said, it's the neck up and you feel up to it, opt for light activities. Okay, that might not be the time to be doing heavy, trying to do PRs. Okay, so nice and light. Again, listen to your body at the end of the day. But little light activities like some walking, some stretching, some yoga, reduce the intensity and the duration of your workouts. Okay, you don't need to do an hour and a half long session. If you just want to get some movement in, keep things going, 20 or 30 minutes is totally fine. Okay. Again, you don't want to overstress your body. All right. And then, regardless, you're going to stay hydrated during that whole thing. Okay. Staying hydrated is always a good idea, even when you're healthy, but especially when you're sick, because you can tend to get dehydrated. And then when you should rest. So if you've got fever, like I said, neck down symptoms, so fever, chills, excessive fatigue, muscle aches, like your chest congestion, nausea, vomiting, like, you know, and things get worse after doing some exercise, that is when you should rest. That's when you should be focused on recovery. And if you don't, what can happen is it could prolong your illness, um, and just make it worse. Okay, prolong your recovery. So some of the risks that you're of training while you're sick. So again, you're going to risk more dehydration. I'm just checking in to see. Got a couple people on here. Thanks so much for showing up. It's going to increase your risk of dehydration. Obviously, your body's working harder to do things. Again, like I said, it's going to prolong or worsen your symptoms and prolong your recovery. Um, and really, one of the biggest things is you've got more because your body is fatigued. You're not strong. You're not at the top of your game. Like your potential for injury is going to go up too. Okay, your form might fall apart. You're a little bit weaker, like I said, and potential for injury could go up. And really, at the end of the day, the other big thing is you may be spreading your illness to other people, especially if you're working out at a public gym. um, that's the last thing I want to see is somebody like snotting all over the place and then grabbing the dumbbells that I'm going to grab, you know, right after that. Or like laying all over a bench, you know, in like a cold sweat, and then I've got to go lay on that thing afterwards. So be aware of your surroundings and be like, you know, thoughtful of the other people that are sharing a gym with you. If you're working out at home by yourself, by all means, it's not away. It's not all over the place. Okay. All right. So you're covering and returning to training. So again, I can't stress it enough. Focus on proper hydration, nutrition, and your sleep. And then you want to gradually ease back. What happens a lot of times with people when they start going back to training, they think that they feel good, and they do. They feel better than they did when they were sick because you get used to feeling kind of crappy. So then as soon as you start to feel good, you're like, yeah, I'm good to go. And then you start training and you jump right back into it and sometimes you'll miss a couple days. So you feel like you got to like catch up and go extra hard to make up for those missed days. And then you end up like relapsing, okay, because you put stress on your body way too soon. It's not ready and it's gonna relapse. Okay, so then you get sick again. Okay, so start off slow. Start with some lower intensity, lower duration of workouts, and then allow maybe like 1 or 2 extra rest days if you need to. All right, so training while sick, again, it depends on your symptoms, your severity. Remember the neck rule. So neck up, you should be good. Neck down, recommend rest and recovery. Okay. Start off light. Don't just jump right into it. And then again, at the end of the day, listen to your body. So pretty easy, pretty quick and dirty. And hopefully it provided some guidelines for you, some direction, some value. So if you liked this video, and found it useful, I started a YouTube channel a little while ago where this video and other ones like it have a home. Go check those out. Give me a like, a subscribe, a thumbs up, like all that stuff. It's super supportive to me. And I'd love to see that. And then again, I mentioned at the beginning of the video too, I teach a group functional fitness class, High Rock Strength and Endurance class at Gnarly Fit in Kalamazoo. If you're in the area, feel free to come down. We're training there Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's a great class. You can get a week free pass if you want to come check it out. Great people, like I said, great facility, great experience. So really suggest that people do that. And then again, and as always, if you have questions, like feel free to reach out to me. I'll leave all the links on the video like I normally do. So there'll be a link to my calendar. If you have questions and want to book like a 20-minute phone call just to, if you need help setting goals, you have specific questions, um, whatever it is, I'm just happy to help. No obligation whatsoever. So book that phone call. Love to chat with you and hopefully help you out on your journey. But if you really want to make some progress and see what it looks like to work with a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach that's going to guide you every step of the way, hold you accountable, and really make some real lasting progress, then I'll also leave a link to my training application in the comments. Take 2 minutes for yourself, fill that out. We'll start that conversation and see if you and I would be a good fit. All right, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, that's it. Quick and dirty, short and sweet. Hopefully you got some value out of that. If you guys need anything, feel free to leave your questions in the comments, DM me, book a phone call, or better yet, fill out a training application. We get some real progress going. So other than that, guys, have a great rest of your Thursday. Have an amazing weekend and stay healthy, my friends.